Adam, first, just out of curiosity, how tall are you?
6'3" and a half.
I asked that because I read back in high school you were a middle infielder, and in high school that would be a pretty tall middle infielder. So let's start with that. How did you go from middle infielder to pitcher ultimately?
Kind of growing up, I was always doing both, so it was a pretty easy transition. But kind of the first 2 years of high school, I really focused on being a middle infielder because I didn't throw very hard. And then kind of my junior year of high school, it kind of flipped, and then the priority became pitching.
And I've listened to some of your interviews and read your story, and you really have a fascinating journey all the way to this point. It starts at South Dakota State. I read that for a little time there. You didn't quite have a pitching coach at the program. What was your time at South Dakota State like, and how did your college baseball journey begin?
I really did enjoy my time there. I liked my teammates. I liked my coaching staff there. It just was a little unfortunate with the whole COVID situation. That kind of put everything on hold and really changed the outlook of college baseball during that time.
And then I remember I was in the Cape Cod Baseball League back when broadcasting, and I've heard of stories like yours where a guy shows up and really makes a name for himself. It sounds like that's what happened with you. How was the Cape Cod Baseball League then transformative for you?
It was huge. I was able to kind of refine my pitches there, and then really got to work with a lot of great players and a lot of great coaches. And then that's kind of where I found my next home in Iowa, and that was an amazing time there. I was super blessed to be able to go there and work with the guys that I got to work with there.
Before we get to your time at Iowa, what was your experience like in the Cape Cod League? Because most guys that go there, they really love it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The fields kind of surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting some of the dimensions, some of the colors, but it was a lot of fun out there.
You pitched in Wareham, right?
Yep.
With the gravel
Yeah,
infield?
the gray gravel, that was interesting, and then the field goal post on the left field line was also pretty interesting.
The fields here in Peoria, they're manicured, I think, a little bit better than in Wareham. No offense to Wareham.
Yeah.
Terrific place and a great Cape Cod Baseball League location. You mentioned it, then you went to Iowa from the Cape Cod Baseball League, and it sounds like not only did you have a tremendous amount of success there, Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, but you also really got in touch with your biomechanics and your stuff. How was Iowa transformative for you?
That goes all to the coaching staff there. Robin Lund, the pitching coach that I had there, was huge into all of that, and he was a professor before his time as a pitching coach, and now he's with the Tigers. So you can see that in just a short amount of years, he's had a lot of great success, and he's been able to kind of pursue that next level. And a lot of my success goes to him because he was a huge help to me in my career.
As far as biomechanics and learning what you could do with your body, if you could dive into a little bit more detail, what did you really learn from your coaches at Iowa?
Yeah, we did. When I first got into campus, we went into a biomechanist lab, and we got to kind of have the dots on us, and then started throwing some pitches to really kind of fine tune like where we're losing some momentum and where we're really good at holding momentum. And so kind of getting the report on that was able to show me like, hey, I need to hold it a little bit longer in this space. And then just kind of working with him throughout delivery and being able to move to the third base side of the mound to try to hold my load a little bit longer, and then also get down the mound a little bit farther and hold my fastball in pronation a little bit longer too.
You then end up getting drafted by the Padres. That moment when you find out you're getting drafted and really a fairly high draft pick as well, what were the emotions like on that day?
Just super blessed. I didn't really know what to expect that day, so I was just happy to have all my family and friends around me during that time because that was huge for me. And then to be at a great organization like the Padres was outstanding.
First time here in the Major League Clubhouse here in 2024 spring training. So far, what has this experience been like?
It's been a lot of fun. The guys here are great. The coaching staff is great, and it's just been a lot of learning and try to soak up as much information as I can.
Anybody in particular on the Major League side of things, some of the veterans in here that you've connected with?
I'm trying to make connections with all of them. It's been fun watching guys like Darvish and Musgrove, especially being in their group some days and just seeing how they go about their day-to-day business has been really big for younger guys like us.
When you look at somebody like you, Darvish, and the way he goes about his business, what are some of the things you really notice?
You can just tell that he has super attention to detail and that he's a professional. He's a pro's pro, and he knows what he's doing. He knows what his body needs. He knows what he needs to do day in and day out to get what he needs.
Let's revisit this past season. Your numbers were really good in the minor leagues. It seems like you throw a number of different pitches, have a pretty wide arsenal. How would you describe yourself as a pitcher right now?
I would say I can mix and match real. I feel like I can kind of throw whatever's needed that day and just try to throw a lot of strikes is my main thing. Just try to go out there and compete and attack the hitter.
I think I read that evaluators would say your slider is maybe your best pitch. Would you agree with that still?
Yeah, I feel like I have supreme confidence in that pitch, and I have really good command with it. So it's kind of just a nice balancing act of knowing when to throw it and when to not overthrow it.
What did you want to work on entering this spring training and entering 2024, no matter where you start the year?
For me, it was working on the changeup. I felt like that could have been a big pitch for me last year, and I just didn't quite have a grip that I felt super confident and super comfortable with. And since being in spring, it's been a lot better of a pitch, and it's been more of a comfort thing for me, so it's been good so far.
When you're trying to work on a pitch like the changeup, trying to really get it to where you want it to be, what does that process typically look like for you this time of year?
Really just focusing on in catch play, trying to figure out different starting points and ending points, and then just in lives, like getting out there and throwing it, trusting it, and not being afraid of the results, because ultimately that's what the lives are for, is just to go out there and get more comfortable with pitches and pitch selections.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that I hate getting asked, but I ask a lot of the players in here. Adam Mazur, what do you like to do away from baseball? Who is Adam Mazur away from the field?
I really enjoy talking with family and friends, and then getting out to golf or fish. Especially back home, fishing was a lot bigger, so I'd say those kind of things I kind of pass my time once I'm done at the field for the day.
You get any tee times out here in Arizona?
I've been out twice so far, but I don't know, it's not the right timing for me quite yet. It's a little expensive, and just with camp and stuff, I'm trying to get used to the time slots and all that, so it's just more of a focusing on baseball, and then if there's time to golf in the back half, then get it done then.
I'll finish up on this because it's something I talk to a lot of guys here about. It is interesting because baseball during the season is very much an afternoon and evening time schedule, and then you get to spring training and it's before 8 a.m. I'm talking to you. It really is a very different schedule to get used to for the month and a half we're here.
Yeah, you definitely got to be ready for some early mornings. This morning with the picture day, it was a little bit earlier than even usual, but the coaches really have emphasized that they respect our time, and so they're making sure that we're not doing unnecessary stuff. So it's been really good so far.
You mentioned it is photo day, and I only bring that up because when you're able to put on that jersey, Padres uniform, and a lot of guys here today will do it. I mean, does it? I know you guys in here are always kind of dreaming about what the next step will be in getting to the major leagues, but does it kind of say, hey, it would be pretty cool to put on this jersey at Petco Park and really do this for real?
You definitely know you're closer to it when you're putting on the jersey and taking your pictures in it, and that's kind of just the next driving force is, I've taken pictures in it, now it's a matter of getting out onto the field and throwing in it.
Adam, appreciate the time. Great catching up with you, getting to know you a little bit, and we'll talk to you again down the road.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.